Grand Rising. I'm on the drive alone this morning. The kids are not going to school. As y'all know, Sydney is suspended and Dominique's school has closed for today. There was a shooting at his school right before school ended yesterday, and the little boy got killed at the school. Like last period. I ain't gonna cap y'all. I'm grateful that my son is not one of them kids that skipped school. Do y'all understand me? I am so grateful that my son don't play about his education. Do y'all hear me? Because listen, alright, y'all remember yesterday when I dropped him off to school, y'all know me and Dominique, we'll have our little conversations in the car about the little boy who was beefing with these Mexicans. And the Mexicans, like, Dominique was telling me, like, the little boy had just came back full, right? Now, at the beginning of the school year, Dominique was having this problem where he was hanging with this boy. And the boy he was a troublemaker, right? And he was the type of boy who just kept on. He was the type, like, he was a bully. Let me say that. And I was letting my son know, like, you know, they not the people that you hang with. They not people that you hang with, because any bullies, things will happen to bullies, okay? So it was like this little boy okay, so the Mexicans was bullying the homeboy friend. And the homeboy felt like he had to stand up to the bullies for his friend. Now, the little boy wanted Dominique to stand up to the Mexicans for him. So it was like every day the little boy and the Mexicans would be fighting. This was every day. Dominique got to a point where Dominique was like, look, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm going home. Dominique said it was at least about 20 Mexicans and 3 of them. And Dominique know how to pick his battles. Now, this little boy, he has been gone from the school for at least a month. Before he was gone for a month, there was a fight that happened at the school, and one of the Mexicans, the little boy cut one of the Mexicans' faces, right? Now, a month later, he's back to school, and this other little boy, which was the friend, ended up back to school as well. So 2 little boys came back to school. Dominique, and it was 2 other boys that Dominique hang with, that used to hang with the other 2 little boys. And one of the little boys out of Dominique's crew ended up skipping school yesterday. And he's the little boy that got killed. He ended up skipping last period. Him, and it was like, Dominique said it was like him, 3 other little boys, and it was a couple girls that in last period, the little boy had asked Dominique, like, you going with us? And Dominique was like, no, I'm not going. And Dominique was like, something telling me not to go, is what Dominique said. And then out of nowhere, they started hearing gunshots, and the little boy got killed on I think they said, like, the soccer field of the school. They said that the school went on lockdown and shit. But Dominique called me and he let me know, like, this is what's going on. And, you know, now this is what's going on with Dominique and the other homeboy that Dominique hang with. Them 2 are now scared, right? Because the little boy that got killed, even though they hung with the other 2 boys that was bullies, right? They wasn't doing the bullying. They feel like they are being put in harm's way because the bullies are not there. The bullies are getting missing, and the Mexicans are hitting niggas guilty by association. So you know what I told my son? You will be transferred. Like, I'm not doing this. We're not doing this. Like, no. The worst feeling that a mother can get is knowing that you put your son in school and you told your son to go to fuck the class, and your son end up not abiding by your rules, and the motherfucking child end up skipping class, and you get a phone call that your son was shot in the fucking head on the soccer field at some fucking 1:30 when he belonged in fucking school. You know what I mean? So now my son and the other, because I spoke to Dominique went with a couple of his friends yesterday after school, and I spoke to the Dominique homeboy, and I spoke to Dominique, and both of them feel as though they need to be transferred from the school because shit is happening guilty by association. And I told Dominique from the very beginning, that little boy could have been locked the fuck up after the situation that happened with the Mexican and cutting the Mexican faces. But when he popped back up at the school and the Mexicans seen his ass in the school building, they left out the school building. 9 times out of 10, the group that was getting shot at yesterday, the Mexicans probably thought he was in that group. They probably thought he was in that group and just started letting off. When the whole time, that little boy got MIA. And I was telling Dominique, like, yo, you need to understand. If you want to stay at this school, you understand the home that you're getting put in. But I don't advise you to stay at this school. I understand you made a lot of friends and, you know, all that. But, honey, your friends will understand. They understand. Y'all still can be friends, even not going to the same school. But you know, we not. That's what I would prefer to, you know, transfer mines before I get that phone call. And my son don't do no trouble. My son don't get in trouble. He don't. Dominique is not a bully. Dominique do not fight. Dominique don't crack slick. Dominique don't do nothing. Okay, the boy he's a half and half, mama's boy, daddy's boy. The boy, no, he's not a troublemaker. My son don't do any of that shit. Sydney, yes. Dominique, fuck no. Dominique has the intuition of something's bad gonna happen and I'm not leaving up out of here. Because Dominique told his friend, I will not leave up out of this school. Dominique has this thing where he pays attention to his surroundings. Dominique seen the Mexicans leave the fucking school building. Oh shit, your keys. God damn, I gotta turn around. I don't have your keys. Let me pull over. Oh, come the fuck on, bro. Like this is dumb. Let me wrap you in. It's shit I gotta do on a low ski. Hold up, y'all. Where is your keys? They might be in the house. I don't see no keys. Alright. Hey, Turtle. I had to pull over and look for his fucking keys. Let me see something. Yeah, they might be in the house, honey. 'Cause I don't see no keys. I know what that means. I'm gonna have to ride all the way to the house, get his keys, and bring him all the way back because he needs keys. All right, but yeah, yo, like I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like, to be honest, like I was telling my sons, even Sydney yesterday, because I don't know why, but Sydney feel like everything's funny. I be, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is funny about somebody getting killed. A little boy getting killed at that. Mind you, this little boy, I tell my kids all the time, you don't know what a child do when they're not around you, okay? You do not know what people do when they're not around you, okay? So don't say your homeboy this and he not a troublemaker and all that, because the mask that he put on in front of you could be a total different mask that he put on outside the school building when y'all not around. Neither here nor there. When it comes down to being shot at the school, 9 times out of 10 something happened within the school building, you know, to make this happen. And from what Dominique say, you know, this boy that got killed, he was a popular student. Like, everybody knew this boy. Like, everybody. I'm talking about the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders. The nigga was a team basketball player. You know, he was a very popular student. And for him to get killed, it's like, damn, yo, he was cool. Because Dominique said the boy was cool with the Mexicans and he was cool with they, you know, with they crew. So, and I'm like, well, if they didn't pull up and like walk up to the crowd 9 times out of 10, excuse me, they probably thought that that boy that they was beefing with was inside that group. Like, I'm just like, so Dominique, he don't even want to stay at the school no more, which is understandable. Listen, I'm all for you getting transferred. I have no problem with it. One thing for sure, 2 things for certain. I wish a lot of students, a lot of children think like my son, because my son know what guilty by association means. He know exactly what that shit means. If you hung with his ass, your ass is in fire too. Whether you did something or not. Like, Dominique hung with the boy, but it was kind of like Dominique, when the little boy would be like, come on, yo, we about to fight these niggas. Dominique be like, bro, you on your own, I'm on my way home. It even got to a point where the Mexicans wouldn't even fuck with Dominique. They would go straight to, like, they would walk right past Dominique. Like, you know, back then, if there was a group of y'all, we whipping everybody ass in that group. Like, it's not no, I'm only gonna fuck one nigga up. No, we fit to fuck all of them up. This group of Mexicans, these niggas would run past Dominique and go for this little boy. And I'm like, yeah, well, that shit ain't always gonna work. I'm saying, it ain't always gonna work, my G. Like, and even the other homeboy that he was with, he was saying, like, you know, my mother gonna give me transfer because I'm gonna let her know we guilty by association. That's what the little boy said. He said, I'm gonna let my mother know we guilty by association. Hey, as long as you know, I was telling somebody because I was telling them, yo, your 9th grade year, your 9th, every fucking body movement, everybody's energy, those that you want to hang around, those you don't want to hang around, you know, those that you want to take with you in the next year, right? I said, but you need to understand, that group that you hang with, everybody ain't going to survive. You got to understand. Everybody ain't going to survive. I was telling myself, like, bro, at least, okay, listen, most of my friends, they was getting knocked off in 9th grade. And then from 9th grade on out, bodies dropping. I even had to tell Cindy, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Why do y'all do this to me? I think I should go up girls. But I was telling like ninth grade, like bodies was dropping. We ain't have that luxury of, being able to transfer when bodies start dropping and shit. Because we had it where that was our zone school. Nigga, whatever school you can go to. Shit. But they did close Patterson down because of the shooting. And it's just fucked up because, like, most of these kids is getting hit when their asses belong in school. Like the shooting that happened up at Emerson High School. Them kids was on lunch. What the fuck are y'all doing on lunch? The school don't sell y'all lunch? They don't give y'all lunch in school? Why the fuck is you at the shopping center? Why y'all at the shopping center? It's like these people know that y'all go to school and y'all would still oh, okay, so I ain't gotta bring you a kid. Like, I ain't gonna cat. Niggas, this world, this world crazy. Oh, I burnt the shit out of my throat with that hot coffee. The way we living, and then y'all gotta understand, like, y'all, what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, the people in my generation are gone. Y'all gotta understand, every generation is more wiser and more smarter than the next. They will be able to catch on the bullshit faster than what we had. And you have to understand, due to the fact that my generation and before are now waking up, what we know, we're able to teach the generation after us. Right? Meaning, the school system really wouldn't be able to play with our kids' minds. So why not knock them off? Why not? And then it's crazy because you did the killing on the school grounds. Like, where they got cameras and shit at. Like, bro, these people don't give a fuck. Okay? They don't give a fuck. I had to tell Cindy yesterday, like, bro, first of all, ain't shit funny. Ain't nothing funny. I don't find shit funny. It's number one. And number two, all them little homeboys that you just got caught up with when the police grabbed y'all up, do you think y'all gonna make it? Do you think they gonna make all of them? All of them. I had to explain to my son, like, bro, I'm trying to get you to understand, in a group of people, right? In a group of 5 young men. In a group of 5 young men. The stigma is 2 gonna be dead and 2 gonna be locked up. Only 1 gonna be able to turn into something. You get what I'm saying? That's the stigma. And I had to listen, I'll be honest, y'all. I keep it all the way at G with my kids. All the fucking way. I don't give a fuck how nobody take it. I don't give a fuck about no attitudes. I don't give a fuck. I tell my kids, this is the stigma, okay? In our culture, 5 young black men, this street is fucking horrible. You listen, I don't understand why y'all drag this street up and then put this bitch back the fuck down, yo. What the fuck? But yeah, I had to tell him, 2 dead, 2 locked up, 1 gonna make it. And I told my son, I kept it real. I said, bro, people When it's you and your friends, when it's you and your friends, and it's five of y'all, you are not the little boy that they look at that's gonna be like, y'all gonna make it. He's gonna be the one that turn into something. You're in that full category where you're gonna be either dead or locked the fuck up. Because of your mentality, because of what you say out your mouth, you think everything funny, you play too fucking much, you don't fucking listen. Listen, I keep it all the way real with my kids. I don't play no fucking games because I need y'all to understand. Okay, I need you to understand. Like, when you get to ninth grade, 9 times out of 10, one of y'all gonna drop the fuck out. Okay? One of y'all. All five of y'all ain't going to no motherfucking high school and making it all the way through. Okay? Not all y'all. Not all y'all. I said that's the stigma. He gonna say, well, how you know this? Because that's the stigma. It always end up like that. But y'all got the generation after us, the generation that we're birthing out. If we keep them on the right track, they will be the generation that break the fucking curse. But my kids is hard headed as the fuck. I swear to God. And I really think that parents don't think like me. I do. Now, there was a topic that came up like, should parents be, should parents take the charge for what the fuck these children doing? No, the fuck we shouldn't. Because if we take the charge, it ain't teaching them a fucking lesson. No, the fuck we not. No, the fuck I ain't. I'm not taking no charge for no motherfucking body. I don't give a fuck. You did the crime, you gonna do the motherfucking time, honey. No, ma'am. Nigga be like, I'ma do the time for my son. Yeah, the fuck, alright. Yeah, one bitch come on talking about, I believe, you believe what? You believe so? You believe we should take the charge for our children? Yes, I do. Because, it's a reflection of us. No, the fuck it's not. They're a reflection of the motherfucking selves. The fuck? That's like saying your son go out here and kill a motherfucker. Your son go out here and kill a motherfucker. And when your son go kill a motherfucker, you gonna take that murder motherfucking charge. You gonna take that murder charge because it's a reflection of you. Like, the fuck you out here killing people. Bitch, you crazy. Y'all, I went and did I was watching the documentary of the lost history of Earth, bro. I ain't done yet. I think I got like 2 more hours left of the documentary, but it's such a good documentary. And I was sent some information yesterday on the Tatarians, right? And the Tatarians, if y'all don't know, when we say free energy, right, it's a lot of free energy in here, like a lot. But I went and read up on the information that they gave us, that was given to me. I read the article, and if you watch the life of the lost history of Earth, and you go read this article,
7. Born to a music-loving family.
Fired. The suspect fled the scene and the investigation continues. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. With Indeed, you can attract.
There was somebody shooting, but yesterday, if you go watch, and let me let y'all know, y'all do not need Roku to watch this documentary. You can watch it on YouTube. Look up the lost history of Earth. Okay? You can watch this 5-hour documentary on YouTube, and I will post the website that I was sent to get some good information. Okay? The Tatarians and the lost history of Earth, all that, it goes together. Okay? It goes together. So, in the lost history of Earth, he's basically telling us, like, the cathedrals and the churches and all that shit, it has energy inside of it. It's energy inside of it. And the Tartarian article, it basically gives you where it came from, who made it, and what they lived off of. Where did these people go at, right? When you first watch the documentary, he's going to talk about how like the things that we never really thought about, like for example, the what you call it, like the big empires and shit in Rome and all that. When it was built, nobody was there. Nobody was living there. Everything was empty. The only places that had people was London and Paris. But he was basically like, it was basically saying things like, that our world, right? Our world, right? Humans, our world really didn't start. Our history, okay, let's talk about history. Our history really didn't start. We've only been here for about 200 years. I said, get the fuck out of here. He was saying how the earth is flat, which I've been saying that because, you know, sometimes you gotta think about the shit. Like if you got a circle, right? If you have a circle, water always turns into the form that the circle is in. I mean that the water is in, either in a cup, a bowl, water. When you think about earth, water cannot sit on earth. If it's a globe, water cannot sit on the earth. If it's a globe, water will trickle down. Now, I want y'all to really go watch the documentary, because we have a dome above us. It's a flat earth with dome. There's no such thing as space. On every fucking thing that I love, I am so glad I'm not the only one to think of this. Because listen, anybody that been on a fucking airplane, okay? Anybody that been on an airplane, when you go above those clouds, it is nothing. It's not darkness. It's nothing to fuck up there, bro. It's nothing. It's nothing. I'm sorry. It's nothing up there. Now, what they do say is we have water above us. Now, he pulled out a scripture of the Bible, okay? And that's where the Tartarians, I don't know how to pronounce it, Tartarians. Y'all know I can't fucking. But that's where the Tartarians actually came in at. Like, they was like 8 feet tall, probably almost 8 to 12 feet. These are some tall ass niggas, okay? Every generation after each generation was always like we was, step down, right? So these Tartarians, they was real tall people, and they didn't survive like we survived, right? They was considered breatharians. Breatharians, they are people who live off of the gases in the air, the ethers, gaining energy from the ethers. So they spoke on air ducts, the ventilation system. They spoke on the cathedrals and the churches and this is where, now they are religious buildings, but back then they weren't religious buildings. This is where they actually was able to survive, because this is where the energy came from. They got the energy from the ethers. How did they get the energy from the ethers? Water. They studied the water, the sound of the water, how the water flowed, all that. water. What do water do? Electronic magnetic fields. That is what water can do. Water can do a whole fucking lot if you don't know. So I'm watching it and I'm listening, and I swear to God, it was so much fucking information in that shit. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Now, listen. Chimneys. Okay. Chimneys back then, they were not meant to be burnt. Okay, it was not meant for smoke to go up out of them bitches. Alright. Now, chimneys was a way to keep, you know, the ethers, the energy to flow through your house. That's why most of these houses don't have chimneys. Right? Now, y'all know how we'll say when a tragic happen in the world, we'll be like, they energy harvesting. They are. And the way they doing it is through the buildings. They got these they don't have nothing. Alright, buildings who have what's it called? Damn, what they called? Shit. They got like antennas on them. They consider like antennas, and the antennas they mainly made out of bronze or metal, and the energy from the world will go on the antenna and it will circulate through the house, through the chimney, in and out. And this is how they would survive, right? When they spoke on the chimneys, I was listening and I was like, yo, that's crazy, because I always thought about chimneys. Why is chimneys inside of the houses? But when they energy harvest, it's like your energy, the energy that you give off, it's like going into the world and they suck that shit in. Like, but the way the world going right now, look, listen, we got a couple options right now. Because the world coming to an end, but we got a couple options. Option one, we gonna die by a virus. Option two, which he said that ain't even an option, because he said it's not an option because there's no such thing as Earth. So you know how they saying like, oh, they gonna get on the spacecraft and people gonna be living on the spacecraft and all that. There's no such thing as space. There's no such thing. So that's not even an option. You can't go search for another place when there's no such thing as another place. Every species is here on this earth. Every species. That is why they consider us being overpopulated, right? Because there's different species here that we don't know of. And I'm talking about extraterrestrials that look just like us, and they able to shapeshift, right? I seen this article about alligators, right? And they don't show no signs of aging, which means they are immortal. Bro, why the fuck did I have an aha moment? Like, bro, what if the alligators, right? What if the alligators, they live in water, right? They live in water. They turn into alligators and live in water. But when they come out of water, they turn into humans. Like, they shapeshift into humans to walk the earth. Like, that's some shit y'all need to think about. Because there's a possibility that shit be going on, too. Child. Yes, Lord. I swear to God, I be thinking about all that shit. Because I just don't believe in, like, we're just the only ones. I don't. Now with the I hate this name. Tatarians. With the Tatarians, as they was talking and I was watching the documentary, you know, and listen, I'm going to be honest. It's some shit out here during this documentary that I didn't even know was going on. I didn't know this shit was going on. Like, bro, I didn't know that. And it's weird because I had to think about it too. Okay, so he said back then there was this they was doing like they was trading off orphans and infant babies, and back then if the mother, couldn't take care of, like, parents, women would be having children, and they would sell their children and wouldn't be asked questions. There would be no information given. They would meet people on the trains, on anywhere in public to trade off these kids. And when they trade off the kids, they would get the money, no questions asked. And the mother would know in their head that the child wouldn't survive. Like, they would kill the children, all that shit. So it was something called the infant train, or the orphan train. And it was hella orphans on this train, and they was being shipped across the motherfucking borders and all that shit. So I'm thinking, where the fuck is these parents at? What the fuck is going on? Where are these children coming from? Right? Because you have all these children, but no parents in sight. That's some weird shit. That's number one. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Where are the parents? Now, what was sad was that these orphans, they were shipped in different parts of the motherfucking world to procreate, because they was trying to repopulate the world. They had to repopulate the world. Now, there was an amusement park, right? And people was paying to see infants in incubators. Pay attention. A lot of shit before we were here. It's time in these buildings and all of this shit. How did this shit get built before? Like, are y'all getting what I'm saying? How was this shit built, right? As small as we are, these buildings that are, like, I mean, the detail of these buildings are very, 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 and I mean very precise. They are very precise. So, how was this shit made if we didn't end up with this type of shit until after the fact? Good morning. This shit wasn't made till after the fact. Now, there was a amusement park, right? And this amusement park, this white guy, he ended up, opening this amusement park. And people will pay to get into this amusement park to look at babies, newborns, and incubators. And I scratched my head about that shit because it fucked me up for a second. Like, what? Like, this is not a hospital. So instead of them killing kids, right, they would take the infants, put them in an incubator, put them in the amusement park, and he would charge people to come in and look at babies. And you could drop your child off. You could drop the child off, no questions asked, or you could adopt the baby from out of the incubators. Now, what they said was there were over 15,000 babies, infants, at this amusement park in the incubator. Where are the fucking parents? Like, I'm confused. Where the fuck is the parents? Like, are you really telling me that we as in women was, that careless to drop children off and leave them inside a public place? Bro, that motherfucking shit, I said, yo, I didn't even know this shit was going on. And why the fuck is he charging people to see babies? And why the fuck is y'all buying to see babies? Like, the fuck, y'all ain't never seen a baby before. That's what fucked me up. So I question, where did the babies come from? Why is it 15,000 babies? Are you really telling me it was 15,000? Like, come on now. Like, bro, I don't believe this shit. Like, 15,000. Listen, an amusement park can't even hold that many fucking people. Do you understand? It can't even hold that many people. So how the fuck is it 15,000 in the amusement park? Fuck me up. But anywho, these babies, they was being orphaned out and they was shipped across the world, you know, to in different parts to procreate and repopulate the world. The only places that actually had people was London, Paris. It's like that is where the life started. And it was kind of like he was saying like, okay, if everywhere, now this is how he broke it down. He broke it down to the point where there were pictures of empty cities, right? Different pictures of empty cities, mud everywhere, you know, buildings up, but there were no people. Okay, there were no people at all. Where are the people at? Why ain't people walking around? And you know, I asked the same question, and I was like, well, maybe this is what I said while I was watching it. Well, maybe people in the house, or maybe it's too early for people to be outside. But then he said, you know, it's not early in the morning, gotta be in the afternoon, because the shadow of the sun is showing the building on the ground. So when I seen that, I said, damn, that's crazy. Where is the fucking people at? There was no people in different cities. It was empty. So as he going past, he said, but you know something? As he was showing the pictures, he was like, but you know something? Somebody was there. Because if there were no people there, right? Where are the people at? But then he said somebody was there because how did y'all get this picture? Why were y'all taking pictures of empty cities? What is, like, that was the question that he was asking. And then I had to think about it, like, somebody was there. It's crazy. It is crazy. But then he jumped into all the free energy and the, you know, how shit was made. And it's something called a formant. A formant is what's over top of us, right? And in the Bible, it was in the Bible. He said that a passage which in every, you know, in every different Bible, all the ones that was made, it's still the same way. It say the same thing, just in a different, you know, flipped in a different way, basically. And you know, it's like all the answers is in the Bible. People just don't know how to translate it. They don't know how to read between the lines. They don't know how to, you know, common sense it, understand it, break it down. And it was like everything that we have right now fucked the world up. Everything. Like everything. All the technology. Everything. Everything. Cars. All this shit. All this shit. All this shit fucked the world up. Because as I'm watching this shit, I'm like, but if we can live, right, just off the ethers of the earth, if we can live off the ethers of the earth, and we can survive with the water and use the water, right? Because that's what they told us to use. Water. Water is the source. Hey, Lavender. Thank you. Water is the source, right? And he was saying how where did free energy come from? And free energy basically was, you know, these people, they listened to the water. They understood the water. The same way as you hear a pin drop, the same way you hear water drip from your fountains and shit like that. It was water that flowed is what they paid attention to, right? And he was saying something to the extent of uh the Tatarians. Now listen, I didn't get to the point where in this documentary, I didn't get to the point where he mentioned the Tatarians, right? But I was sent information of an article of these people. And I went and read the article. Then I watched the documentary. And the article, when they spoke of free energy in the documentary, I already knew who he was talking about because I had read the article first. So the article, it kind of ties into this documentary. So when he was speaking of the Tatarians, he was saying that, there was a passage from the Bible and something about a foreman. And the foreman is basically, okay, so in the Bible, he said, let there be light, and there was light. Then he said, separate water from the water, right? That's what he did. So, and that's what the Tatarians did. The water was separated from the water, meaning the water from the ground, which is our oceans, our lakes, our ponds, the Niles, all that, right? And then when you separate water from the water, he did that. So there's water above us, right? The foreman, as well as he spoke, the foreman is above us, right? It's kind of a dome, right? It's a dome. So we're in a dome. The foreman is created with water, ether, gas, all of that. And that is how they got their energy. Affirm it. There you go. I'm saying foreman. But you know what I'm talking about. See, you right there with me. Okay, you right there with me. But it's like they learned these Tatarians, they learned how to all this shit that we got in our bodies. They didn't have to eat food the way we have to eat food. And true people have to decode it. Like all your answers is in there. But see, people don't want to decode the Bible because of the fact that, like I said, some of the shit in the Bible, I don't believe. Some shit, I do. But it's like all mixed up in the jiggy jungle. It's like a jungle. It's a jungle book. And you gotta just take what you can and leave the rest. You know how the tarot readers say, take what goes to you and leave the rest. If it do not, if it don't sound like your information, then you don't take that shit. You feel me? So, like as I'm watching this documentary, I'm listening and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because water is an electronic magnetic. So you have ions and electrons. Like we have a lot of shit around us that we do not need that we can get back to. You just will have to be willing to really go within. Even with the ethers, like when they say getting closer to your higher self, and that's actually working from the ethers. They even showed how they even showed how they made these statues, right? And the statues actually shows them pointing up to the sky, right? And it was like they were sending us a message, but us being, brainwashed and naive and not really using our brain, just taking what they gave us and running with that shit, we not paying attention. We wasn't paying attention. But they definitely got their finger up to the sky, showing us, like, the shit is up there, bro. Pay attention to the sky, bro. Pay attention. Absolutely. Absolutely. Every element. So it was like, I was like, damn, yo, this shit is crazy. And then when he started talking about how, because I asked, listen, when I'm watching shit, motherfucker, I'm asking questions as I'm watching it. And 9 times out of 10, as I'm asking the questions, these motherfuckers is answering this shit as we go. So I had asked, like, well, how did they, you know, how did they bring the energy in? And, it was the way that they made the places, made these houses. It was the way that they did it. Like the red bricks, right? You know the bricks that they use to make a house, right? The bricks that they use to make the house, that's energy, right? It's energy. Why? Because if you can strike a match on that bit, red bricks are energy. And you know what? When he said red bricks was energy, it was part of it. That's why they made chimneys with this shit on every fucking thing I love. I started thinking like, yo, remember how the elites, they take pictures in front of the red bricks as a sign, right? Like brick masonry, like, you know. I say, yo, this shit. I'm in my head like this shit crazy. So then he got to talking about how these buildings was made and what they was made out of, and he started, he was giving us pictures, giving us pictures, and the pictures was basically like he was saying like, have y'all ever thought about like these how these buildings was created, and then he was showing the ceilings of the building, the cathedrals with the windows and shit like that, right? And he was saying like, it has the metal inside of it, even the pillars of the buildings, right? The pillars, even though it's made out of stone, inside that stone, inside the stone, there's metal, right? There's a metal pole, which be what? Energy. So as he's saying this, he was saying like the buildings that were made back then to have energy flow through it, they were not meant for windows to go inside. They were not meant for glass to be inside of them. They put glass inside of it so that the what is it called? So that they don't work. Cause it's like an energy machine, right? You may not see like shit rotating and all that, but because of the metal, the bronze that's inside of inside of the building, inside of this concrete where they built the building, it kind of allowed the energy to flow through, right? And when you put the windows inside, when you put the glass inside of these windows, it stopped it from doing its job. I was like, that's crazy. Like the churches and shit that we have now, back then, they were not considered churches. They was considered like they was considered hospitals, and that's where people would go and energize themselves. It's like a battery. Like your body is a battery, and they will go to these places and they will get energy from these places. And I mean not hooking your body up to shit, but just going there, just being there, just showing gratitude, right? So I was like, damn, yo, like this shit crazy the way they got this shit set up. He was saying how the entire world is ran off of energy, or it was ran off of energy. The entire world is, it's like, and then he was saying like, if you notice, he was saying that if you notice, the world is connected by water, streams, rivers, oceans, because of They needed it so that the energy, the water can flow and the energy can transfer. I said, bruh, this is crazy. My bad, y'all. But like, I was listening to that shit and I was like, yo, that shit, like, bro. And the brother, he stole his crystal from out of the house. And then millions of years later, they was looking for this crystal. And they needed the crystal to channel energy from the earth so that they could do something, and come to find out the brother had it. Even with like real back then, like, oh yeah, it was another TV show that I seen, and this man, he was building like this he was building like this machine, and this machine didn't have enough energy, right? And they was like, you know what we can use? And he was like, what? And he was like, this crystal is a quartz. You need enough quartz. You need enough quartz crystal in order to, get this energy. And I was like, damn, yo, like, shit be right in front of us, but we just don't see the shit. It's like we're not there. We're not. And I'm like, honestly, that's because they don't teach us this shit. They don't teach us anything. They don't. He was saying how the world is definitely overpopulated, and it's like, it's basically like, because we have all this technology, right? Either technology is going to be our demise, or it's going to be a choking virus that's going to be our demise. It's either one or the two. But technology has came so far where we're not spiritually able to handle this technology. Technology will be our demise. He was saying that the AIs, like, the robots that's helping us, will be the same robots that turn against us. I believe it. I need to see the time this door open up. Let me see. I might have to run back because I gotta go take these clothes. I was going through clothes yesterday. After I washed clothes, I had to put clothes up, and I was still getting rid of fucking clothes and shit. So I be cleaning up my shit. Oh God. I know I have froze, but yeah, y'all go look that shit up. You can watch it on YouTube. You can definitely watch it on YouTube. The whole entire 5 hours is on YouTube. That's some shit, like, that shit'll bust you in your head though. That shit'll really make you think. Because you never thought, like, people, what we don't understand is we took a lot of information that they gave us, and because we took the information, it's like, all right, this what they gave us. Hey, black people built the world, right? When in actuality, we ain't built a motherfucking thing. We ain't built shit. Nothing. Nada. Like, even with, okay, so he said that children, right? Children, they will notice things that we don't notice, right? Things that we don't think of, right? So one of the questions was, why do they put a window on the bottom floor, right? And I thought about it. I looked outside like, why the fuck do they put a window in the bottom floor? It's called The Lost History of Earth. The Lost History of Earth. I'm gonna share the video on my channel, but it's a good video. It's good. It's an awesome documentary. Like, and then listen, you gotta bear with him because he said that he's gonna take you back to the future. Y'all remember the movie Back to the Future? He's gonna take you back to the future because where we at now ain't nothing compared to where we were, where the world used to be. It's just what they had back then, they used it for good. The people that's in power right now, they just fucked everything up. That's what they did. They fucked all this shit up. But I was thinking, like, why do they put windows on the bottom floor? Like, that shit don't make sense, right? But then you gotta realize, where these houses are made, there's houses under these houses, okay? Because a basement, it is very, very hard to lay a basement down. A ground floor is hard. So you have to understand, the bottom floor is actually the top floor of another house. That is why these houses are built with a window at the bottom. It's a house on top of a house. And I thought about it like, damn, yo, that's deep as shit. If you look at majority of the buildings out here, there are windows on the bottom floor. So the basement is technically the top of another house. I say, get the fuck out of here. I said, ooh, chill. They be giving you some information. But I'm going to do Sophia Hair today, and I'm going to finish watching that shit, because that's some good shit. I went and got some more, what you call it? What you call it? Some more canvases. And I got to get some more Floetrol. I went to hella fucking... I didn't want to buy it offline, but I may have to buy it offline anyway. But, because ain't no Home Depot's got them. And I don't want them little ass bottles, so I may have to order some Floetrol offline. Shout out to me. But if y'all like my commentary, y'all thumbs up this goddamn video. And y'all share my video. And if y'all would like to support your girl, y'all know what to do. $daughter here. Okay. Because I need some Floetrol. But yeah, y'all, I am going to finish watching this documentary. I love, like, it's so much information out here that is just waiting for us to intake. And I really just cannot believe that we, as in the community, and I got to be honest with y'all, it's mainly the black community that is not taking the time out to intake the information that's being given to us. Because we're so stuck into the material world. Right? And, bro, I am just disappointed in these people. I am. I'm disappointed in these people. Like, I found a video of them breaking down the Matrix. Right? And remember I told y'all the other day that Tom wanted to go back and he wanted to watch the Matrix all over again so he can really understand it. And when I found this video popped up on my computer, and I pushed it and I'm watching and I'm listening to this shit. And the way they broke the Matrix down, it was kind of like he was saying, like, the red pill and the blue pill, fake reality versus the real reality. Which pill would you like? You take the real reality, I'm giving you, if you take the red pill, I'm giving you nothing but the truth, right? Take the fake one, you'll stay in the Matrix. Cool. So, Neo, he chose to take the red pill, right? Which was the truth. come out the matrix. The thing was, he was still in denial of, being unplugged. Like when he woke up, he realized that it was other motherfuckers plugged to a computer, right? Which in fact we have been saying for a minute that we are in a simulation. And a lot of people don't want to believe it, but if you can go into another fucking computer, go in Gematria, put your name, your birthday, your social, and a fucking name of a car that you used to drive or where you used to work at, and all that shit match up to your name, brother, we in a simulation. That right there, Gematria by itself tells you you're in a simulation. If you walked around and believe like you don't belong here or something is different, or you always felt out of place, nigga, you're in a simulation. Like, it is so many flags in front of us, we just choose not to pay attention to it. Like, but when I was watching The Matrix, it was kind of like they was giving us so fucking much. But I'm going to save that for another day. I might come back live and talk to you about this shit, but I do want to finish watching this. I gotta put this bag in this car. Drop that off at the Goodwill. Alright, so y'all, I have been on here long enough. I'm ready to get up off of here. I thank y'all for coming through. Y'all like, subscribe, and share my channel. And I will post the video that y'all can watch. I will post The Matrix, and I will post this the life of the lost history of Earth. I will post that as well so that y'all can watch it and we can come back and we can talk about it, and I'll probably 9 times out of 10 I'll go on StreamYard so people can hit the link and come up. We can talk about everything. We can talk about the last documentary that we had, and then we can talk about this one, everything. So I thank you for coming through. I thank y'all for listening to me. 1:11 on the clock for my time. And I'll talk to y'all later.